Now we will see how to use the pivot table and chart. We first select the table that we need, and now using this table we can create the pivot table. We have selected the range already. Let us create the pivot table report in a new worksheet. As you can see, we have already got all the fields that we had, all the columns that we had in the initial table listed here. Pivot has a function just like its name. Everything can revolve around it. It can control everything, show you whatever you need at once, and in a very convenient manner. All we have to know is how to use it. So first of all, we need to know what we are looking for. Suppose we want to judge about the city, products sold there, and the revenue. We want to draw an inference about these. Now, as soon as we click any heading, the table itself starts to select the fields in different areas. This area is the row label. This is the columns. This is the report filter. And these are the final values that we get out of the table. Let us see what each of these mean now. Suppose we shift products to the column labels. You can now see what we have got here. The rows are showing city here. The columns are showing products. So for each city, we can see how much of the product has been sold. But what is this value? This is what we place here, the revenue. And what we get at the bottom is the sum of the revenues. We may change this. We may make it the average of revenue, max of revenue, product, and so on. You can even find the variation or standard deviation. But let it be the sum in this case. So we have this grand total at the bottom. This is a very simple table. We have product, city, sum of revenue. It is like any normal table. But let us add something to it. Suppose we start adding a condition to the report filter. Now this filter will help us decide what we want to find about. Do we want to know about the details of John? Here it is. Or Ramesh. Or maybe we want more than one. So we may select two at once. And we can clear the filters like this. Now we can see these details for everyone. In this case, we wanted the city in the rows, products in the columns. We may change this. Here we have put the product as the row labels. And now we can see how each product has sold in different cities. We can further add details to it. You can see how well it splits up and shows all the details. Here is how each salesperson has performed in which city in terms of revenue, filtered by the region. Let us add a pivot chart straight away. We'll select the table here. I'm writing its name directly. The location had already been selected. And here we have it. Now instead of making just a table, it will also make a chart along with it. Let us see how this happens. We put city here, it divides it by city, but we have also put salesperson, so it makes subdivisions. Also note this difference. Which is higher up defines what we'll see here. But so far there is nothing in the series, that is the rows. Suppose we add the products here, more informative. We can add filters here. Suppose the categories that we had defined earlier. We can choose the category here and it will change everything inside it, depending on the category. But this is looking crowded, and each time we'll have to move to these fields to make any changes. Can we simplify this? Let us remove products here and go for another option. Under Insert, you will find Slicers. Click anywhere on the pivot table or chart and you'll get this option. This gives us a shortcut to make classifications based on any one field. So suppose we select salesperson here. We now have all the 3 salespersons, and as we click the name, the statistics also change accordingly. In one click you can see different details, and use this to remove all the filters and see the full details again. Hence you need to know what you are looking for, and pivot table can be very useful. Using slicers will make it even more useful and even more interactive. Lastly, we can see the revenue for each company, and we may now change this. In one click we can change what we are seeing. Instead of sum, we can make it average. Not only that, we can add different values in this field. Here we have the average of revenue and sum of quantity. So this is open to experiments, unlimited possibilities with the pivot table.